Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent readings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Timeless Pick a Card reading, where we will be receiving guidance from Poseidon. And I'm doing this reading because I took, that's what won the poll that I did today. It was probably a couple hours ago, so if you didn't get to it, I'm going to probably do all of those topics, secret topics, eventually. So thank you for voting, and I appreciate you in every way, really. And I'll just say I'm very excited. This is a very powerful reading for me personally, as Poseidon is probably, of all the deities and entities, like right there. He's constantly in my life, and I think by the time I post this reading, I'll share just at least one photo that I get, because Poseidon's all over the place and very much in my face, and I love it. So I'm hoping this reading really helps you navigate your current situation and dig deep into the emotional kind of navigating your own seas during this time, whatever you're going through right now. Hopefully it's very helpful. So there's 3 piles. I have pile 1, which is this lapis lazuli pyramid, and then I have pile 2, which is this angelite sphere, and then I have pile 3, which is this blue kyanite crystal. So if you need some more time, please go ahead and pause the video. Take your time choosing your pile. Otherwise, I'll meet you at your reading. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the lapis lazuli, this is going to be your reading. And before I get started, I just when I stopped the recording for the intro, I saw that the time was 2:02, and that was the time of my birthday. So I'm kind of like, this is intense for me in a way. So I really hope this reading is helpful. And so yeah, let's just, I haven't drawn any cards out actually. So I wanted to get a card from this self-esteem oracle deck, just to see what comes out really. Then I'll draw an oracle deck, a card from another oracle with different deities. You have gods, goddesses, and crystals, and then we'll just get the message, and we'll kind of like see how the reading unfolds. But it says, to distract you from emotional turbulence, anxiety, or unprocessed emotions, you have been self-medicating. Remember, short-term escape only defers your recovery. It's very strong, but in this case it feels relevant just because emotional turbulence, so kind of navigating those waters. And I think this reading would be about possibly how you try to distract yourself or from a situation or point of your life where you really want to get away from escapism. You might feel incredibly stuck, and any means of escaping them, like through, it says self-medicating, so that could be the case, but otherwise it would be just absorbing like a bunch of TV shows. I mean, in moderation it's never bad, but when it's deliberately trying to waste time, the first example I think of is TikTok. Again, not to bash anything like that, but when there's an app that's created to waste your time, just consider how long you're on there, what you're doing, how is it benefiting you, and how is it specifically going to make those waters become calm. And for a lot of you, it'd be through some sort of movement. It's kind of like as your experience changes, as you evolve, I think there's like a contrast, a yin and yang of as your world around you is engaging and stimulating and promotes growth, spiritually or physically or in terms of career, relationships. That's when your waters become calm, and then you'll be able to see very clearly what's underneath, which sometimes is nothing. I'm thinking of a bird, like by the beach. There's always these birds that take a deep dive, but they need to be pretty sure what they're diving into, because they need the momentum to catch fish. The fish aren't like right at the surface. They're usually a bit deeper, and it takes quite a height, and it is a dive, but that's where the reward lies, and that's where the nourishment is kind of looking at the things that are underneath the surface of your emotions, and kind of finding, really digesting maybe just ugly moments or things that you keep hidden from yourself. This is kind of, Poseidon is giving you a spear really to not be afraid to dive, because that's what you're capable of doing, just like a pelican would be, or like they're designed to take that dive into the water, and they don't get injured either, so you don't have to be afraid of getting sucked into, even if it is traumatizing, because there is growth in that, in the way that kind of like your body heals and grows stronger after there's a wound. So in a way, it at least has the potential. It's not to excuse something that's happened that was difficult, but it is to say that that's part of your journey, part of your growth, and when you take the time to kind of, it's Three of Swords energy, really, of just kind of sitting with the suffering a little bit, and it won't seem so positive at the moment, but with time you'll realize that all of a sudden you're in a different place, that you're a different person, you're much stronger, and you have more control of your life. So, right, so let's get an oracle. Ascended Master White Matthew with Danbrite, Original Self, and then Angel Amidiel with Blue Obsidian, Revelation. Alright, so Revelation, Original Self, and that just might be saying that you've lost yourself in a way, and this is really a path to being true to who you are, especially with the emotional turbulence. It's kind of like maybe you have been, like this card suggests, self-medicating, but it could also be, again, escapism, just because you're not being your authentic self, and you feel like there's pain associated with it, or maybe the judgment of being that person. And I think part of this is saying, like with the revelation, there's wings. I think this revelation has to do with your power and your ability to really flourish as you are without having to sacrifice anything. We have both cards with wings, so that's really the revelation, and you could look to your inner child to, inner child, to kind of maybe pick at what has been hurting that child, what's got that child afraid of engaging with the world in a way that is authentic to you, and maybe it has to do with something you've been wanting to create that you feel might expose you a little too much, and you've been holding back on that. Otherwise, it just... and then we have the Devil. Okay, so that's really powerful. I didn't shuffle, and it fell right on top of the card that says to distract you from emotional turbulence, anxiety, or unprocessed emotions, you've been self-medicating. So it's a very strong energy here, to be honest. And at the same time, I mean, the Devil energy is associated with not only Capricorn, but the seal of Saturn. It's a card of opening the third eye chakra. This is where your power comes from, actually, is looking at the cause of why you would be doing something like that, and it's nothing to be ashamed of if it's intense, like, because we're all human, we're all part of the same collective, and we have that side to all of us, just like I think like every archangel resides in each of us individually as well as collectively. So that could be just something that if you're feeling these intense energies, you're not alone, first of all. And like, especially if you're watching at the time of this video, there's kind of quite a few people who are dealing. I don't know the astrology, the current transits. Sorry, like, not off the top of my head, but I know that it's intense, and it's an intense time. But distracting yourself with these behaviors that are not really helping, kind of like your spirit, your soul, or your mind. Because again, for some reason, I'm thinking with the escapism that it could be distracting your mind from some of the thoughts that are coming up. But just like when the beach has a lot of seaweed and it's very dirty and very wavy, it passes, and it passes, even within the same day. Sometimes it's a couple days, but at some point, at least once a year, but usually a lot more than once a year, the water is completely still and completely pristine. Like, you could see the shadows of the pebbles, at the bottom of the water. So just know that exists, but pretending that it's not dirty is not really gonna help it be less dirty, if that makes sense, at least in terms of the water. So kind of acknowledging that you're in a place you don't want to be. This is a heavy reading. I'll be honest with you, because we have 5 of Pentacles and 5 of Wands and 2 5s. So this is part of a change. Then we have the 6 of Wands. So that's saying that success is along the way. It's there. There's a lot of inner conflict, maybe that's being reflected on the outside, and vice versa. There's this movement, like there's a desire to leave a situation. I hope that wasn't too loud. Whoops. But it all connects. So there's just this, you want to leave this situation, and you're like, I'm thinking of the song Glass Prison by Dream Theater. I had mentioned that in a different reading. It's very intense, but I love Dream Theater, and I love that song. I might link it, but again, it's not for everyone. So we have the 5 of Pentacles. Looks like running away from a shadow, and it could be seen as this shadow figure here, and that could be it's really tying together. And Poseidon is being real. He's kind of represents like divine masculine in a way, where he's like, you're feeling this way, accept those emotions, kind of don't be afraid to take responsibility for your actions and how these actions have repercussions on how you feel. That's part of the journey towards empowerment. That's part of the journey towards freedom, really. But yeah, so this could be a relationship, this could be a situation you're in, you could be someone who believes you deserve more and you're almost being shackled by societal norms and ideals, but really looking at how in some way maybe that nemesis is reflected within your mind, and that could be something that you could conquer and will start reflecting in the outside world. But we have the 5 of Wands here, which shows that chaotic battle. This is intense. It could represent, in this case, people around you. You could also be picking up on the energies of the collective, where this is just intense and you're just feeling that and you can't really pinpoint it. That could be part of it, but either way, this is a time not only of change but of growth. So with the Six of Wands, six being one of the more, or the most powerful, not just powerful, the most lovely, I guess, numbers in the minor arcana, the number 6 associated with the Lover's card. And here it's being prideful of having made it through this battlefield. You know, I want to clarify 2 cards. I want to clarify this 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. Let's start with the 5 of Pentacles, though. Queen of Swords. Let's clarify the Queen of Swords. This could be a mental battle. We have the Ace of Wands. I mean, part of me is thinking that this has to do with you can always, no matter what happens in the exterior world or even the situation that you're in, you could always control your mind, like in what you're thinking. It's like you could say this is horrible, or you could say this will pass, or you could just focus on what you want to be, and that would be, I guess, the escapism, is balancing kind of the ideal situation that you want to be in, connect the emotions with that and let that sit with, while at the same time, it's kind of like if you're going to do escapism, don't like watch nonsense videos or read like, I mean, you know what's not really beneficial, what feels like candy, where it's sweet, it disintegrates really quickly, and it just leaves you with cavities and like this, almost like a thick layer of skin, you know. You know what's empty and what isn't, and right now you could replace what's empty with where you want to be and who you want to be and what that looks like, and through the power of your mind manifest that into reality. So that's really, I think, a part of this whole experience that you're in, is that while it can sound harsh that maybe that you have a say in the experience that you're having through the power of the mind, it's also really empowering because it shows that this reality you've created for yourself is within your control to some extent. And then we have underneath the 6 of Wands, the World card. So this is a really big cycle that you're breaking out of. Know that it exists, you know, that there is an end to this. There is an end to this feeling. And after this is mastery. After this card specifically is the Golden Fool. So you become not only embody that sense of freedom and the world opens up to you, but you do so with the wisdom of what you've gone through now, which is a difficult time. Like, there's no real way around that, but again, through studying, I think specifically the mind and your patterns and what you do physically, and eliminating slowly the things that don't serve you and the people that don't serve you. Whoops with my speech, but yeah, people that don't serve you, especially with their aura, their thought patterns, that energy. It's kind of like when you're in a gym, and like I've experienced this, where like some gyms, they're just filled with people, everyone's scattered, half of the members are watching TV, they're distracted, they're not focused, and you could pick up on that, especially as an empath. And on the other hand, like if you're in a group exercise, you almost get more energy somehow because you're all focused on the same goal. So if you are going to like watch something or read something or speak to people, try and connect with those who are have gone through what you've gone through or are going through that, because again, it can be uncanny, like how so many of us can tap into that same feeling, and it's uncomfortable, but that's almost a way of, it's a comfort in knowing that you're not alone in going through it. And not only in the physical world, but you have your spirit team, and you could always call upon Poseidon, who masters this whole turbulent emotional time that is clearly happening right now. But his wisdom suggests that it will pass. It has to. And it's a very bright future. Look at this. These three cards are all next to each other. Original self, freedom, really spreading your wings. This is what you've been wanting. That's the thing. Maybe not this particular moment, this situation that you've gone through. Maybe you just recently got out of it, but you've been wanting real freedom, real clarity, and real control over your life, and real independence. And that's what's coming. This is just the last, the final hike. You're on mile 30 and you're kind of over it, but you're right at the top, so it could just be difficult when you don't know how close you are, but just know that there is a top of the mountain, if that helps. But anyway, I hope you at least, I don't know if enjoyed this reading, but definitely got something from it. And yeah, let me know how it resonates in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this Angelite Sphere, this is going to be your reading. Message from Poseidon. And Pile 1 was kind of intense, so if you're coming from there, welcome. We'll see how this one goes. But I don't have any cards out this time. I usually do, but I'm gonna, okay. The card came out, and the number is 55, and it says, you've been distracted from things that matter. Decide where your priorities lie, and restructure your life in order of importance. Just decided to look at the last one. So the next one is confidently stand in authenticity and express yourself without judgment or fear. I made that because I got one of those taps. It's like, that's for you, talking to me. But so yeah, with these two cards, I would show them to you, I guess, if you'd like. It's kind of hard to see them, so I apologize, but it is what I read. And so there could be, again, distractions, but prioritizing sort of like Two of Pentacles energy, and being confident in who you are. So this is what this reading is really going to be about. Let's take a look at another Oracle deck, just to see kind of like the energies that you are in now, or that you could be moving towards. We have two cards on the floor, so. And the floor cards are really important. So we have Ascended Master Merlin, and Mystic Merlinite, which says read the energy. And then we have Archangel Raphael and Malachite, grace for the grand gesture. Boop, boop. There we go. So it's kind of like this healing energy, wisdom, read the energy. And when it says read the energy, it's specifically referring to the priorities and the things that you set out to do, or that you plan on doing, and not only how those things make you feel, but how your body responds to them. How does your body feel when you even think of doing a task? And that's how you know it's a priority for you. Even if before, because that could happen too, right? Where you're putting something off because it's like, setting this up, or preparing, or just the idea of doing it could be in itself like a drag. It's not referring to that. It's talking about the feeling of during the activity or after. And I used the gym in the last example, or the last reading, so I'll do it for this one in a different context. In that, oftentimes before a run or workout or something like that, you're like, I really don't want to. I really have no interest in going. But it's very rare that you come out of like a workout saying, that wasn't worth my time, because it usually is. It's kind of like, at least you move the body. Same thing with yoga. You put it off, just the idea of like, I don't know, I just don't want to do it. But after, it always feels amazing. So, and to contrast that, it's like something like, I was gonna say binge watching a show. I just don't watch that much TV because I feel like dizzy afterwards. Like after a movie, it's 3 hours, I just feel disoriented, and I don't like that feeling. But if that's not the case, like it should just be and I had mentioned candy in the last reading, so I'll say it now. Sometimes eating candy is nice because you don't do it that often, or the candy or sweet that you're indulging in is something that you don't have that often. But if it's like a habitual thing where you're bored, so you grab the bag of Skittles, but you don't really taste them anymore. It just kind of feels sluggish and uninspired, and it's really not helping. And so those are easy examples, but it could be like that for how you schedule your day, what you do in the week, your month, prioritizing not only those small tasks, but also like vacations and intentions that you have for the year and stuff like that, where it's like, what do you want to accomplish, and how would those accomplishments make you feel, and then prioritize those in your day. And then with the confidently stand in authenticity, express yourself. I think there is some sort of healing that needs to be done with that, or that is being done now in expression. So it's kind of like healing the throat chakra, healing the solar plexus, those two specifically, and could have a strong connection with Master Merlin or Archangel Raphael with number 42. Okay, so let's get the message from Poseidon. Got the sun. Nine of Wands. I think what's exhausting might be if you're not being authentic, or if you're trying to put other people's feelings above yours, or even prioritizing others before yourself. So kind of like, well, I need to take care of this person, and you neglect especially your physical health, because it catches up really quick. And it could be something like, obviously with age the body changes, but at the same time you have a say in that, not only based on what you eat, but how you move your body movement's coming in strong for this reading, so that could be something to keep in mind, because this figure's standing still. It's just tired, but also pushing through. We have the sun energy, and I had mentioned solar plexus, so that would be tied directly to that. Like what lights you up? What do you have a desire to do? That's what would push you forward. That's what would push you past the point of exhaustion in anything, really. And that could be part of why you might want to engage in distracting activities, where it's like, oh, I'm tired of this, I'm just going to do this other thing that's not really relevant, but it just also consumes your energy. and arguably more importantly, your attention, which is really a superpower that people tend to overlook. And we have the Four of Swords. You know what? Hold on. No, it was Cups. I wasn't sure. Four of Cups. And this figure looks like they're half asleep or they're just drifting away, daydreaming. So a lot of ungrounded energy there. I'm going to pause the video because my camera's about to die. One sec. Okay, where was I? So I think that movement can help you heal your solar plexus, help you with confidence. Movement is kind of a key to this reading, actually, and also a key from being ungrounded, because this Four of Cups is ungrounded. It's daydreaming and neglecting reality. So I think all of those things tie together very strongly. And when it comes to reading the energy with Mystic Merlinite, it's like it also, this movement of any kind, could be walking, could be running, something, yoga, but doing that regularly and prioritizing that, maybe first thing in the morning, is gonna help the energy flow through your body. And it's kind of interesting how that would give you more energy as opposed to taking it away. We have the Strength card underneath the Sun, the World again underneath the Nine of Wands, and then this card that was flying away. So this is the card that I was looking at. I put the deck down, but we have the Lovers card. So 3 major arcana, clarifying what's on the surface. So part of this could be healing from a relationship. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, but it could be like a family. Maybe, I don't want to say abusive, but maybe emotional manipulation of some kind. Specifically, physical something or another, where like a family member would make fun of your height, for example, or something like that, where it actually ate at your inner child in a way. And you're it's kind of like this, your subconscious, specifically your solar plexus energy. And then we have the Lovers with the heart, and the heart connects to not only the number 6, but also Malachite and Archangel Raphael. And this card happens to be the number 6, which I didn't even notice, but 1 and 5 add up to 6. So there's something about heart healing as well, and that could have also been something from a past relationship where they just made you feel less confident in who you are, and that's where you might have sacrificed your authenticity. Like, I don't know why I'm showing you this card because it's hard to see it, but sacrificing your authenticity, and that could have been like that with the Four of Cups, this disillusionment or like detachment from your own body, from physicality. So like it all ties together. You could connect to the earth or your body, but there's this strong need to ground yourself in reality, and that's actually how you'll fly. That's how you'll free yourself and feel confident in who you are. It's almost like letting that beast out from inside, because this figure is wild, and it's almost like being wild will help you connect to your authentic self, and it's very healing for you. And this pile, I can say, is very powerful. There's a lot of power here, and maybe that's kind of been why you've been in difficult relationships, friendships, or just work environments where people try and diminish your power by making it, creating the illusion that there's clouds in the sky that can block your sun, but that's just not possible. You know, the sun continues to shine regardless of how many clouds there are in the sky. Like, it's, you know, just because you can't see the sun one day, it doesn't mean that you're not feeling its warmth, and it's not radiating creative energy at any given moment. And that's kind of what you're in the process of healing and learning, is that you give that love and passion and energy to yourself. But surprisingly, the healing actually comes from physical activity, from physicality, from connecting with your body again, and allowing energy to flow. The energy that comes from the earth, that's healing you through movement. So, yeah, Poseidon's saying a lot today. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know in the comments. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this blue calcite, no, a kyanite, sorry, a blue kyanite stone, this is going to be your reading. Guidance, wisdom from Poseidon. So I'm gonna draw 2 oracle cards, one from 2 different decks. I don't know if I messed that up. So this first oracle deck is called Decoding Your Self-Esteem. The next one is one that I use all the time, the Crystal Mandala energy. So we'll look at that in a sec. But this card says, you deserve the praise and compliments that come your way. Accept them gracefully. They come with sincerity. I chuckle because the last couple days I don't know how to handle sometimes the compliments. Very awkward. But this card is saying that you deserve them. So there's this praise, there's this you've accomplished something, and don't be afraid of the spotlight. Don't be afraid of the 6 of Wands card. And as usual, like, there's this progression between all the readings. So if there's like one person who's gone through them, this is quite a journey. But for most of you, I think you deserve the praise, you deserve the recognition, you deserve the accomplishments that you've been receiving. So even if it's not people telling you directly, you could always like, thank you to your spirit team, to your ancestors. And I think you all do that already. This pile is very grateful, and that just keeps that momentum, that energy going. So so far, very bright, loving energy. And we have Ascended Master El Moria with Blue Star Sapphire and Higher Will. Wow, this is a little bit much. Okay, so the readings come full circle in a way. I'm just going to tell you because when I finished the intro ended at 2:02. That was the time, and that's the time of my birthday. I was born at 2:02 a.m. Then the next, I'm not going to spoil the other readings, but there's definitely a progression, and it's coming back to 2:20 and then 02. I don't know, that's really powerful for me. So maybe some of you are reaching a point of where you want to be. Like you're finally getting to where you want to be, and this is that time. If you're not feeling this now, it's in the very near future. Like it's kind of like, I mentioned the beach again. Like the water's right there. You could feel you're on the shore. You're about to jump in the water, and that water is your success. And this could also be saying that you're merging with your higher self. Like you are your higher self at this point, and there's that illumination that comes with and this was earned. That's why this card is saying, you deserve the praise and accomplishments that come your way. You've earned it. You've gone through the fire, through the pits, and you've made that swim, that descent, and you're on your way back up. So it's very positive. Yeah. And yeah, that's why you shouldn't be ashamed or kind of diminish you, like how big you are, how much progress you've made, because you've made a lot of progress. Like, I would say that you're almost a completely different person at this point than what you... Sorry, audio did what it does sometimes, but we have the Queen of Cups. What is that mermaid energy? Very pretty, actually. And fitting, considering this is a reading from Poseidon, so I think he would call you, regardless of gender, like a son or a daughter of Poseidon, which is really cool. And then the blue is here, so you really are embodying that blue, nurturing, loving, wise energy with a third and throat chakra wide open. Very connected to animals, I think this pile is, and in the same way, she looks like she might be pregnant or giving birth to something. So it's kind of like this new phase is giving birth to a new creative idea or venture. So if you're wondering, like, I've done all of this, but what's next is a reminder to what's next is coming regardless. So just enjoy what you've done already and before embarking on the next journey, because it is a cycle. So there's going to be some sort of hardships and obstacles, so don't jump too fast on that. Like, enjoy the satisfaction of victory. And I think, like I said with the compliments, you're attracting a lot of energies in general. A lot of people are being drawn to your beauty and to your success, so enjoy it. I was gonna say, like, maybe shield your energy or something like that, but I think at this point just enjoy it, because there's this natural protection around you anyway. It's like your spirit work, your spirit team, it's at that point where they automatically know when to come in, they automatically know when to intervene, and you could... There's a lot of that blue energy with the Four of Cups showing up. But in this case, for this reading, it feels like the Four of Cups is kind of showing you that your dreams have come into reality, that what was once a daydream is now reality, or can be reality, that it's very different from one of the other piles, where, because the Four of Cups came up earlier, but here it's like the daydream could be inspiration, and it's welcome, and it's kind of where you take those ideas and make them a reality. I think that's why the Queen of Wands was pregnant here, is an idea is being supported by the universe, and your guides are bringing that. So yeah, give yourself the space to daydream, to think big. These cards are all over the place today, sorry. Alright. There could also be a past loved one who's near you. You have the Ace of Cups. So if there was a water pile, I mean, you can't really... Look at this. Look at all this blue. Look at all this blue. And this deck isn't all blue. There's a lot of different colors in it. So this is... I would say, like, this group is close to Poseidon as well, or at least, like, water deities. Consider yourself, like, mermaids or water people. We have dolphins here. This really feels like a time of celebration and play and new ideas, and that's why, I mean, all these cards are water. Queen of Cups, Four of Cups, and Ace of Cups. So, and these dolphins are playing, and all the swirls and dancing, and so it's like, as you acknowledge what you've already accomplished, the next phase will come naturally. So just dance in it, enjoy it, and if you feel like you're not there yet, It just feels like Poseidon saying you are, or you're really close, and even if you're not quite there, just acknowledge how far you've come. It's kind of like celebrate as if you were there, and then you'll get there sooner. Wherever there is, there being kind of like, whatever it is you want to achieve, the type of person you want to be. We have the Tower underneath the Queen of Cups. The water's getting my attention. But also, there's Mars. We have the Page of Wands, and then the King of Pentacles. So there's more people. Let's clarify all of these, actually. I just wanted to see. Let me show them to you first. The Tower. So with all that blue, we're merging with some more red, some more passion, more fire. Could be hinting at someone new coming into your life, whether that be a relationship or a friendship. Someone with a lot of power. Someone who's gone through, I think, a similar journey of some sort of success and self-mastery, and it might catch you off guard because we have the water there, very turbulent, kind of changes things a bit, but it's like, you could argue that chaos is bad, but you could also say it's kind of fun because it's movement, really, it's change, and that can be interesting. So you could take that depending on your perspective, your situation, but I'm just going to clarify these cards. Yeah, she looks like she's holding her heart out there. And it's new. But this figure is also looking away from her. So if you have, maybe this could be referring to someone else in your life, and you're noticing this, you're seeing this happen to other people, but otherwise it might be you, where maybe this other person has other priorities or finds their progress and their success to be very valuable because it's been a lot of hard work, and maybe they don't understand what you've gone through because it's not so easily seen, okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles underneath the Tower. We have Temperance. It was in reverse, but Temperance underneath the Page. And then we have the Five of Swords underneath the King of Pentacles. This might be someone coming in, or that might have already happened. You might feel like someone's taken you off your game. Someone who's not as balanced as you are. And that could be a bit disappointing. Like, you don't know whether or not to even bother fighting with this person or trying to convince this person or these people or the situation, whatever it is. But because it was, I don't know, do more cards. Because it just seems like here we have Poseidon's showing up in this reading. So if this is something that you're going through or that will be coming into your life, Poseidon is saying you're at this point now that you could deal with whatever energy this is or whatever type of person that is. Your emotions, your intelligence, your wisdom. You've achieved mastery already. So have confidence in the way your intuition is guiding you, right? Because you'll notice, especially with the Mars card of the Tower, you'll see Poseidon underneath, right? So the waters are turbulent. and you know that there's like the way that the water's moving and the water's acting. I just saw 2222, by the way. It'll always be your choice to engage with this, this person, but if something feels off, and you're like one with your ocean, you know it, you understand it, and so it could be just telling you of a force that you might have asked for. You might have wanted something new, someone to play with, or a shift in finances, or someone just to change things up a little bit, but at the same time to have balance and patience in not allowing your emotions to be swept away by this person or this force, who might offer you stability, but is doing so with a cold heart. And look at this, it's almost like this figure's wearing the same outfit. Kind of deceitful, sneaky, alone, and it doesn't match you. And I think that's why this reading could be saying you have the ability to attract anybody into your life. So there's plenty of other fish in the sea. Sorry I had to say it, or in the ocean or whatever. It's too easy that time. But there's plenty of other people, and this could also be again, not just relationships, friendships, collaborators. You don't have to you don't have to put up with that energy. You can detect it from a mile away. The Strength card underneath, it was the Page of Wands and the Temperance in reverse. So here it just feels like listening to your subconscious mind, listening to that gut feeling. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Underneath this five of Swords. And each time it feels like she's talking to kind of like this wild animal. So again, your animal guides, they're really close. You have a very close connection with animals. They could be hinting at something or telling you something, but at the same time, it's like, don't lose sight of your power, and don't allow others to try and convince you that you don't have any, because that's not true. And this could also be talking about, not only for some of you, but like a recurring like karmic cycle of a certain type of person coming into your life, but you're at the point where you don't have to deal with that anymore. And it could be as simple as detecting them from far away, detecting the turbulence in the ocean, like seeing the waves, feeling the waves from far away, and be like, no, I'm not going to deal with that. No, thank you. I'll find another way. Because you're very independent and you have the ability to be resourceful, and it's like your cup is full. Your heart center is full, and you really don't need anyone else unless they are in some way going to support you. So just be mindful of that. And if you're in a situation already, in a relationship or a friendship or in a partnership that doesn't feel right, just know that you're more than capable of supporting yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.